Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to be discussing Dark Souls 3 and the gameplay drop that's happened as of yesterday. Gamescom is currently going on, and that means lots of new information about these games that are upcoming, and one of the big ones for us and myself is of course Dark Souls 3. The final is, I'm going to say this carefully now, the final one in the Dark Souls trilogy series, as they've stated, but there's going to be more other Souls games. Chill, don't go crazy, alright, we're fine. But yeah, the gameplay is actually here. I'm really excited for it. When I watched the trailer, I was really excited, really happy about it, and I had like 10 people tweet me after I watched it throughout the day, telling me, it's there, go see it, and another one today as well. So yes, I've seen it, obviously. So let's go on, let's discuss it then, let's actually have a look at it. So, ignoring the random montagey bit and looking specifically at the gameplay of the game, it's looking to be, thankfully, a little bit like Bloodborne in terms of movement. We have this really fast roll that's pretty much the same speed and style of the Bloodborne dodge, but is actually a roll instead of the, well, I guess the sidestep dodge that, you know, the Bloodborne dodge. So I am quite happy about that. I did want the rolls back. I missed my iframes. Sure, you get them with your little dodge or whatever, but rolling, I don't know, it feels longer, and I have a better understanding of the roll because of my greater time playing the Dark Souls games compared to Bloodborne. So I kind of understand the roll a little bit better when it comes to dodging, I feel. I do like the fact that it's quicker. I'm very happy that there's that new style that they've implemented. It's going to feel faster and more fluid, the combat, because of this, especially in PvP. I'm looking forward to seeing however that works. My problem with Bloodborne PvP was that there was a little bit too much healing going on. So hopefully they're able to tone that back and maybe even combine Dark Souls 2's actual good servers. And then we'll have like the ultimate PvP experience. Dark Souls 1's combat with the Bloodborne pace, which is wonderful, and maybe a little bit less healing and good servers from Dark Souls 2. That could be fucking amazing. This could be potentially the best one that they've ever done, honestly. I'm very excited for it. Next up is the all-powerful, the all-wonderful Backstab. It does look like, I'm going to say right now, it looks like the Dark Souls 1 Backstab. Now, that is both good and bad. Here are the reasons. Dark Souls 1 had just this standard backstab animation. You walk behind the enemy, you press your light attack, and you will perform an animation. During the animation, you are invincible, and you will do a nice hefty amount of damage. And then, the problem is that they slowly get up, and you have time to walk around and perform the next backstab. And then it's an infinite loop until they're dead. This can be done on many difficult enemies, both good and bad. Fun to backstab, fun to bullshit the game and do that kind of thing, sure, but also it really takes away from the fight. You're not really having a fight at all. You're just playing a game where you just walk around something and press one button. That's not really that fun, honestly. Dark Souls 2, they tried to make it less powerful but still enjoyable to do. So they provided new, unique, interesting animations that were a bit more variety in your backstabs. However, they were channeled and they could be interrupted. I do remember getting hit a bunch of times. Maybe not interrupted, maybe that's the wrong word, but you can take damage. You're not invincible. That right there was super lame. We like our iframes. It's nice to see the animation. It's nice to move the camera and watch it, you know? But we don't want it to be too powerful, right? So, they tried to fix it in Bloodborne, and they made this new way that backstabbing works. You charge at an attack, after a certain period of time, a light will flicker on your weapon, and then you will unleash that powerful, strong attack. I really liked that. It was really fun. I enjoyed that. If you manage to somehow time it so this powerful wind-up hits the back of the enemy, then they are put in this new position where they're vulnerable, and you can land that light attack and perform the backstab, which is a unique, interesting animation that makes you invincible during it. That was honestly the best case scenario so far. I'm not sure how they're going to do this, but I have to say right now, it looked pretty much identical to the Dark Souls 1 backstab. Now, there's no real way for us to know right now if it's going to work the exact same, but the reason I say this is because we watched the character backstab with a standard sword, like a one-handed sword. that would have that kind of backstab animation. So maybe with other weapons we'll see other animations. Maybe it'll feel more like Dark Souls 1 but with a bit more variety, which will be wonderful. I don't think you need to do a power attack anymore to do a backstab like in Bloodborne. So I'm really not sure how that one's going to go. Either way, I'm sure I'll be satisfied. It's either Dark Souls 1 or Bloodborne type backstabbing. I like them both. I just feel that Dark Souls 1's backstabbing was a little bit too strong, a little bit overpowered. This one may not have been necessarily actual gameplay, but it does actually look like it to me. So we saw this animation where he takes a burning sword ember thing, smashes it into the ground, flames pile around him, and to me it looked like he was creating his own personal bonfire. We've seen bonfires in Dark Souls 1, in Dark Souls 2, the sword in the bones, in the fire, you know, that's where you save, that's where you transport yourself, whatever, maybe even level up like in Dark Souls 1. Very important aspect of the Souls games. But this time, we actually see someone, what it seems to be, creating a bonfire. Now the question is, will we be able to put them wherever we want, or will it be designated spots where a bonfire would go, and then you walk through it, you press A, he does the little animation. It's just like saving at your bonfire, like lighting the bonfire for the first time, but you create the bonfire yourself. Maybe it's just a unique animation, but it works identically to the other bonfires in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. We don't know, but it looks like maybe we get to make some bonfires. Two things to talk about now pretty quickly. We have the bows. Bows are now much more viable in combat, so says Miyazaki himself. He wants us to be able to pull out a bow, shoot it pretty quick, like the gun in Bloodborne in a way, do a little bit of damage, and really make it part of combat, so it feels more fluid and more integrated. We only really saw a little bit of bow combat in Dark Souls 1 and 2, and it was really long-range stuff, gimmicky, something you wouldn't normally do in a fight. We're talking about firing your bow in the middle of a fight. You slash, you dodge back the attack, you pull out your bow, you land that shot, you move back in. That type of combat. Looks good, sounds cool. We'll see how it plays out. Not sure whether it's going to be as cool as that, but I hope so. But also the other thing that we're going to be talking about is this little spin he does. There seems to be some sort of special attacks. Perhaps it's just a power attack, but we were talking about the whole Bloodborne charge attack, special animation thing, how I loved that, and I would like to see that in Dark Souls 3. Perhaps that is what we see there, but we don't really know. Just saying. One final note on the gameplay. It looks like poise is back. In case you don't know what poise is, basically it's a stat that means whether you take damage or an enemy takes damage, how they react to it. Will they stagger? How much will they stagger? Is it going to be an effect on the gameplay? Looks like it's back. It was fun in Dark Souls 1. Not really sure how prominent it was in Dark Souls 2. It's hard to remember if it even was there, honestly. I don't think it was really much of a thing in Bloodborne. You know, another layer to be aware of and something that may come up in PvP. So good to see that it's there. So let me know, guys. What do you think of the gameplay so far? I found it to be really interesting, really happy to see it, obviously, with Gamescom and people playing the game right now. That's right, people are actually able to play the game. I'm so jealous over in Germany. I am looking forward to trying it out myself. So I'm going to be able to play it at EGX in September, this upcoming month, towards the end of it. I'm going to be there in Birmingham, super excited for it. I hope to see many of you there. I'm going to meet a bunch of you, I'm sure. But my main priority when going to EGX and thinking about what I want to do there in terms of playing games, Dark Souls 3 is the priority. Always the priority. I missed playing Bloodborne early last year. I was so ashamed of myself. I went to where it would normally be, where I played Dark Souls 2. It wasn't there. I never checked out the PlayStation section. And of course, it was a PlayStation exclusive. I'm an idiot. Of course, it was in the PlayStation section, and I missed it. I will not miss that with Dark Souls 3. Not this time. So let me know. What do you think of the gameplay? What do you think about my thoughts on it? Do you have your own? What do you think? I really want to know. PvP-wise, PvE-wise, story, setting, what do you think? I want a discussion. I want to talk about it. I love this game. I love the world, and I'm really excited to play it, and I'm really excited to do my playthrough on it when it eventually comes out. Also, while we're here, while we have this opportunity, if there's anything you want for me to look out for when I play the game myself next month, leave it as a comment, and I'll try and keep it in mind before I play it and see if I can answer some of those questions. Other than that, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. And yeah, look forward to more Dark Souls 3 based content on the channel, of course. Really excited. And that's it. I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you guys next time.